One of the first deaths of the Civil War is actually where my grandfather's from, in Philippi, West Virginia. And it was like three farmers, and a gray coat showed up, and they were like, "What are you doing?" They're like, "Oh, we're Confederacy." He's like, "Oh, cool." And they
Boom.
shot him. Oh, that sucks. It's like, you guys will murder. Why do you guys have a?
I know,
if you
right?
go there, they have like a monument to it. I'm like, this sounds like you murdered.
Sounds like a murder. Yeah, that sounds like a highway, man.
Like,
Jesus.
and a lot of the soldiers that were fighting during that time period, they write about fighting in West Virginia, and there's a interesting article I saw that they took a journal from Russians fighting in Afghanistan in the 80s.
Yeah.
Wildly similar. Like, oh,
Really?
it's just mountains, because like these are a bunch of
The Appalachians, the hill people. Yeah.
bunch of mountains, and
Yeah.
these militiamen knew how to hunt. They were using rifles, not muskets, and they were in these small things. And like, there's a story of the Confederates moving up a river. And I don't know how true this is, but I've heard the story a few times. Like, and I actually went to the area where this supposedly happened. And I don't know if this is just like a metaphor of all the stories put together. It's near Greenbrier. And I went out there, and I was at a camp, and I was a camp counselor, and we took some of the kids out there to swim. And they talked about like this area. It looks like somebody carved it. Like, it's beautiful. And what happened is that the militiamen waited for the Confederacy to kind of move their supplies down the river, and they started attacking them from above,
Yeah.
knowing that the river bows back around,
Oh.
and there was no place to retreat.
Right.
And like, it was like, oh, we just marched hundreds of miles through the woods thinking we're being stealthy. We apparently were followed the entire way. Now all our stuff's broken.
Oh.
And again, modern maneuver warfare does not exist at this point. That must have been terrifying. Imagine just like, oh, everybody in these woods. Like, even you go there today, you can see like all the stars because
Right,
it's still pitch
right.
black. Could you imagine being a guy in the 1860s from Tennessee who's like, oh no, there's
Where'd all our
mountains.
food go?
Where'd all our food, and if they broke everything, and
Oh, man.
but as we close out like on the states' rights angle and the states' rights discussion as we enter the Civil War, it is a political doctrine. It has always been a political argument. It is not this innate political discussion that comes within the confines of a federal style of government. Every state that seceded agreed to the Constitution, understood the Constitution. Nothing in the Constitution changed. There was not an amendment that made them go, I didn't originally agree to that. None of that happened. Everything was agreed upon. And they simply reached a point. As an economist, I would argue economically, but there's a social argument, there's a moral argument. They reached a point where their system was no longer viable. And like an injured, rabid raccoon, they had one option, and they chose a violent option.
Chose to chew their foot off.
Right? And at the end of the day, what wins wars? Economies. Your economy wins the war.